You cannot find what you're not looking for. So right now in this room, some of you may have misplaced your wallet. And you don't know that because you're not trying to purchase anything. And then you go out into the world and you go to buy something and you reach into your pocket and you're like, oh my God, where's my wallet? Your wallet's been lost for a long time. You just didn't know it. And as of that point, you start looking for your wallet, you retrace your steps, and then you can find it. But business and life operates the exact same way. Super great to be here. Great to see you, Wing, as always.
Always fun to be here. Are you kidding?
This is a content mastermind. One of the things that I want to encourage everyone to do, two quick little things, and then I'll have Wing expand on it, and then we'll do some Q&A. First and foremost, one of the things that I find interesting, I always, in any event like this, like to start with this. How many of you have a question for either me or Wing? Raise your hand. Perfect. So that's the problem. From this point forward, never, ever, 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 ever go to an event again without having pre-thought, what is my biggest question, concern, obstacle, or opportunity? Because if you have no questions, guess what you're going to be fed today? Whatever the people up here want you to get. And so here's the rule. You cannot find what you're not looking for. So right now in this room, some of you may have misplaced your wallet. And you don't know that because you're not trying to purchase anything. And then you go out into the world and you go to buy something and you reach into your pocket and you're like, oh my God, where's my wallet? Your wallet's been lost for a long time. You just didn't know it. And as of that point, you start looking for your wallet, you retrace your steps, and then you can find it. But business and life operates the exact same way. So if you just show up at an event, you just get fed whatever the people up here want you to eat. That's not a good way to go about it. If I'm going to anything, I'm going to think first, who's going to be there? And then what is my question, concern, obstacle, or opportunity that I am looking to have answered? And then if I get a chance and somebody says, who's got a question? I'll be the first one. Oh, I have a question because I came here with an agenda. And it can't be your agenda, whoever's up front, it has to be your agenda. Like I have an agenda, I have a question. That's how you get value out of each and every day in life. Otherwise, you're just watching a TV show, right? You just might as well stay home and watch Netflix. It's the same effect. You just came here to watch it live. You just get whatever you get. Number two, I want to talk real quick about the power of, because this is a content mastermind, of what I call marketing by association. And I want to show you actually how easy this is. How many of you have your phone on you? Or can you take your phone out real quick? And then I want you to take your phone and just take a picture on the camera app of Wing and I. Smile big, Wing, so everybody can take this picture. Then I want to ask you a favor. Could you post that on your social media and tag Wing, Wahoo's Wing, yep, and tag me, Dr. Sean Dill. But I wanted to show you, that was a real life exercise. One, I teach something called Mirror Mirror. Life is just a reflection of what you are. So many of you want a bigger exposure, but you won't exercise these things, right? I always tell people, I was at an event not too long ago at Beverly Hills, had a lot of micro influencers, but I was like, if you want to be an influencer, but you can't do that, of course, nobody would do that for you. And it's not really for, Wing and I don't need that exposure, but what I want to do is show you how easy that is. So in your business, you know how easy it is? And this is fascinating to me. If you say to somebody like, Wing, you have your phone on you? Everybody's, like, first of all, the answer is always yes. Who doesn't have their phone? Like, yeah, I've got my phone. Hey, we should take a selfie. That's what I like to say. We should take a selfie. So with his phone, he'll take the selfie because who's going to say no? Yeah. Then you just say, hey, would you do me a favor and just post that on your Instagram? And I got to tell you, if Wing posts it on his Instagram, what kind of audience does Wing have? And how useful would that be for you? Because now people are going to be to you, wait, you are with Wing? And now that helps to grow your brand. When we talk about personal brand identity, you just had David and Tim. You're going to have all these people all day long, and you want to be able to associate yourself with them marketing-wise, right? Last thing, I'm going to give you 4 A's, and I'm going to have Wing expand on it. 4 A's of scale, because I was thinking, what would Wing and I talk about? 4 levers to pull when you're trying to scale. You have a great business, a great idea. Number 1 is awareness. We can't scale without awareness. I always say marketing doesn't get you new clients or get you sales. Marketing, what it does is creates awareness. So many people in the world have the greatest idea in the world. Nobody knows about it. If you have the best fish tacos in the world, but I don't know, useless. After you have awareness, you need automation. Wing is an expert. Systems, processes. We've got to be able to do this repeatedly. We can't make fish tacos different every single time. Once we've figured that out, then we need assets. And I'll have Wing talk about that. We need money. Can't open a store for free. And then lastly, we need allies. Just what we talked about, relationship capital. We need allies. The 4 levers that we pull in scale. Thoughts, Wing?
I love what he's doing. Okay, so here's an interesting thing, and my buddy Brian there has been helping me do all this, right? So a lot of people ask me, hey, Wing, I got this event coming up. Can you repost it? There's something about algorithm in the social media that when you repost, it goes to the bottom. It's not original content, right? So it doesn't really work. You guys can do whatever it is. It doesn't matter how big your event is, how cool it is. You posting it will get more eyeballs than me reposting it. It is what it is, right? And I said, you know what? Let's try something different. So a year ago, a friend of mine, who we are now much better friends, right, said, hey, I got this charity golf tournament and I need to fill some more spots. We're not sold out. And when you do a charity golf tournament, you have to guarantee the golf course a certain number of spots. If you don't meet it, you still owe him for that anyway, right? So he was 4 foursomes short of the minimum. So I said, you come up here and we're going to do it together. And he goes, why would I want to drive all the way up there? He goes, well, you want to fill the foursome, right? And I'm like, yeah. So let me do it, but we have to create original content. And he goes, I don't know what that means, but I'm game, right? It was his first golf tournament. So we shot the little video and say, hey, please join us, fellow alumni, San Diego State, blah, 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 right? 2 weeks later, he not only meets his 4 more foursomes, he sells the entire golf tournament, right? Did it hurt that he was the MVP of the World Series? It probably didn't hurt. But I had tried to do concerts. I've done a bunch of these things where I reposted. It didn't move the needle. It helped that he was maybe a future Hall of Fame, but he was the MVP of the 2019 World Series. But posting it together, people are like, what is Wing doing with that guy? That's the first thing everybody called me for. He goes, you're hanging out with Steven Strasburg from San Diego State. I goes, yes, I am. So what are you guys doing? He goes, well, we got this golf tournament. You guys like to come. It opened the door, the conversation, right? Now, fast forward. This last year, about, a month ago, May, Memorial Weekend, right? We're getting ready to do this Garden Grove Strawberry Festival. Trust me, it's been around forever, but it's a tiny little local event. Most of you guys are like, I got 10,000 more things to do on Memorial Weekend than go to a strawberry festival in Garden Grove, okay? So we called our friends, so I became the de facto celebrity chef promoting it. So I got to be at every news station, radio station promoting this. And we're moving along, right? It's going well. But then I said, hey, we need to really create something fun. And this is, I call the church effect. You guys ever gone to church and the priest or the minister says, stand up, kneel, sit down? You're not going to be the one person not doing it. Everybody does it, right? So when celebrities at a concert start doing this, guess what happens? Everybody does it. You don't want to be the one guy not waving your hand. You don't want to be the one person not jumping up and down, right? So the same thing happens in real life. When somebody with authority tells you to go somewhere, you, like we all are sheeps, we do it, right? So I call it integration because that's what they call it. One of our really good friends, Henry DiCarlo, is the weather guy. So KTLA goes, well, we would love to have Wing here to talk about the Garden Grove Strawberry Festival. But he was just here 2 weeks ago talking about something else. So by default, I couldn't be there, right? So Henry goes, I really want to give my buddy Wing an opportunity to come. So what he did is he made the call to action. He goes, this is really, interesting that we're talking about the Garden Grove Strawberry Festival. But we should have my buddy Wing here tomorrow and explain to you guys what's really going on. So the producer didn't have a choice. She goes, I can't believe you just did that on the air. But Henry, then the morning that I'm coming, Thursday, he's on his way to Japan. Literally, he's on a flight. So he comes and literally, Brian and I get there. And the first words out of the producer's mouth was, just you know, you are not getting on the camera today. You're going to set the table up with the pastries, the cookies, the drinks, and all that for the anchors, but you're going to be over there in the audience. And I'm like, behind the cameras. I'm like, okay, because this is about the Garden Grove Strawberry Festival, right? So what do they do to tee off this segment, right? They bring up yesterday's piece where Henry's calling me out. So it is like telling you to go to the Strawberry Festival because Wing is going to tell you all about it and what's going on and what you should be expecting, and you should go, right? And on cue, as the segment ends, the three anchors are standing right here with all the display. I'm back there. They go, hey, Wing, you're here. Why don't you come up here and tell us about it? I'm like, oh. The look on the producer's face was priceless because she didn't give me a microphone, right? So all I could do literally stand right here as the producer goes, oh my God. And I'm just like waving like I would, right? Well, what was the cause and result, right, of this? Well, the producer goes, you're really good. It goes, well, because this is what happens when you have relationships with people, right? Because what was the goal? They didn't really care about the Strawberry Festival as much as they care about having me on the air. Because that does help my business. It is what it is, right? They go, oh, it reminds people to go eat tacos, right? But by that afternoon, KCAL, which is Channel 9, was doing a piece, and they had to go to the website and goes, why isn't the website working? We crashed the website because people were actually going to the website to get additional information, directions, and all that. So think about it for a second. This is me going on for 65 years. One little play by Henry DiCarlo basically drove the traffic through the roof, basically. And for the next 4 days, they were getting over 1 million views to a Strawberry Festival. And they've never seen that kind of traffic before, right? So the goal was for me to create awareness, just like the golf thing, and sell out. We by far exceeded. So I call Henry and goes, this is crazy. He goes, I know, I'm on my way to LAX. Did it work? I goes, yes, it worked. Not only did I get on camera, but I didn't get to speak, but the anchors did all the talking anyway. But the key here is we got the traffic that we wanted. Because at the end of the day, whatever you're hawking or promoting, whatever, you just want to sell out, right? So from that, now we just finished the Cali Vibe event. We're getting ready. We're doing a tour with Slightly Stupid. We have all these shows that normally they'll sell out on their own, or they do really well. But they want us as a partner to create original content. Now imagine me a year ago telling bands like, hey, you need to be in the video with me. They're like, F you, here's my flyer. You just post it. And now I'm telling you, no, I'm not doing that anymore. You want me to promote your show. I want you to be in it with me. And it helps both of us. Because again, the famous by association thing, right? It is phenomenal what it's done. Because now you guys can do the same thing. Hey, can we take a selfie, right? And it changes your content. Because it's not you just go, hey, look what I just saw. I saw this really I go, no, but if you're in it, just like what I just did outside. The guy that's next is from Pink's Hot Dog. And just so happened that Eileen is an Asian girl that runs all their events. I've been friends with her for I don't know how many years now. But I've never met the actual owner. I just know Eileen because I've never seen him at any of the events. But I've been with her at Dancing with the Stars, the Rose Bowl, all these events all over the place. And it's always fun to have tacos and hot dogs, right? And more important, you don't have to wait in line because you know somebody that's running the event, right? And trust me, at the Rose Bowl, there was like 5,000 fans in front of the line, right? I just go behind, go, Eileen, can I get a couple of hot dogs? So that's the benefit of knowing us, right? You can literally cut like In-N-Out Burger. All these things, if you're at an event with these guys, the lines will be around the corner, right? But if you know us and you go, hey, hook me up, I need a hot dog. It's. So there's a lot of other benefits that come with all this celebrity. And most people, right, You go, hey, can we get a selfie? Don't say, hey, do I mind? Yes, they do mind. But guess what? Which is kind of funny. In part of our group here, there's a lot of agents, right? And what do agents do? They manage their celebrities and their athletes, right? So guess what? Celebrities and athletes are used to being told what to do. So don't ask. Just say, hey, we need to get a selfie. And they do. It's just really funny because I've gotten literally selfies and like nobody's business. People look at me and go, I go, how did you do it? He goes, I just did it, right? And you say, hey, come over here. We need to get a picture, right? And that's how you do it, right? Don't ask.
Let's go. We have time maybe for one question. Who has a question now? We can take two. Somebody said two. Anybody? No, still no questions. So you're just going to get what wing? Yes.
So one question that I like to ask every guest speaker, it's kind of like a deeper, more philosophical question, right? If you were like on your deathbed, right, last moments with your family, right, what would be the last piece of advice that you would give to them?
I just had that conversation with a kid because the dad is playing at the Warped Tour in 2 weeks. Like he's one of the musicians, right? So I wouldn't say he's a touring musician, but you know he still has a day job. But he's pretty significant, right? And the girl was the daughter's 10, and she's beautiful blonde. And I asked her, so what do you do? And she goes, well, I play soccer. I do this. I goes, you know what? As a kid in this country, you can play baseball, football. You can do almost any of that anywhere in the country. I asked her the one question, goes, do you surf? Because I knew her dad did. And she goes, no. I goes, you're going to be the coolest girl in college, wherever you go, that when your friends ask you, you're from California, and you say, yes, I do surf. You don't have to be good at it, right? But for all of us that live within, I call relative, 10 to 20, 30 minutes from the ocean, you should try. Because it's one of those things that in your deathbed, at least from California standards, right? Never been to Disneyland and never surfed are the two things that, you shouldn't.
I've been on this new tip. I'll just real quickly, because it's just my bizarre thinking right now. I saw this post on Instagram about how every day we are born and every day we die. And so literally to that question, when you were saying that, like, I think that, yesterday is just a memory. Tomorrow is not promised. The only thing that we have is right now. And then we're going to go to sleep. We're not dead, but then we like reset and then we're reborn. That's an interesting question to ponder every single night, right? Because we're born in the morning, we die, and in life, your life is this day. Because I know you're here. You know I'm here. We have this, but then we're going to go to sleep, and I don't know what you're going to do tomorrow, where you'll be tomorrow, and you don't know what I'm doing or where I'll be, but we have this right now. And so that's an interesting question to ponder for every single day. And how can I just live today? Not tomorrow's not promised. Who cares what happened yesterday? But how can I live today? And the lessons that I would bring forth to live today, the absolute best that I possibly could to maximize this life. And then if I'm lucky, I'll get another one tomorrow. Can you have, look what we did. Can you have one more question?
Yeah, absolutely. Please. Here.
Hi, guys. Appreciate you guys. Exclusive content. How would you describe that? What is exclusive content, and what is the future of exclusive content?
To me, it doesn't have to be outrageous. It just has to be original. Because it's interesting, right? Some people go, oh, I've never heard that before, right? I've never seen that before. But if you're the second and third person, that's why, what is the first thing that happens every April? Coachella. Everybody's got to be out there getting the first freaking selfie in front of that stupid sign. Why? I have no idea. 99% of those people probably don't even watch any of the bands. They just got to get that stupid selfie in front of that stupid sign or the Ferris wheel, whatever it is that you got to get. But they got to be the first, right? And it's just a joke now, right? Because people they run. I mean, as soon as that gate opens, and it's the only day that people are lined up to get in. The rest of the days, nobody shows up until 5 o'clock. But the very first day, you got to get that freaking photo, right? So yes, interesting, original, it got to be the first, right? So whatever that means to us, right? That's what makes it interesting.
I would echo that because I like that. Whatever it means to us. Definitely, I feel like the algorithm is prejudice against AI is beginning that, and I think it's going to even proliferate more. We're seeing a lot of that. AI-generated content is being pushed down. So I think that whatever is interesting, and I think a lot of times what's, and when it comes to UGC, that we don't think that what we're doing is interesting. You think that I'm just sitting here right now. This is not that interesting, but that's actually the thing that's interesting. It's interesting to somebody, right? And so that's that weird subjective thing is, and then because of the way the algorithm's working, it's showing preference to the smaller accounts that are posting interesting content that the user has indicated that they're interested in, right? And so I think that's, just getting that sorted out, it's great because it's, again, a re-leveling of the playing field for anybody that's trying to push a message out to the world, right?
Can I follow up?
Sure.
Is there a difference between free and paid exclusive content?
I would not. You were talking about paid? Yeah. No. I think like you can't buy fame and you can't buy interesting. It is what it is. I mean, no matter what, I'm going to say it for us here. We're famous-ish, dorky people. But we've accepted that. See, it doesn't matter. Like, so what you see, like the wedding that just happened of the world, right? $50 million, right? Does it make it any cooler? No, he's still a big, rich dork, right? But he is the richest dork in the world. I don't care what he does. It will never change that. And the other guys, because you see all these posts, people make fun of you, right? And I can tell you one thing. Just Google surf pool waves, like the wave pools, who actually owns them. Not the guys who started them, the guys that actually own them today. They're the people that when they show up to the beach, they will never, ever catch a wave. Ever. Because in order to catch a wave in the ocean, you have to earn it. You have to earn, it's a seniority process. And I can vouch for it because I used to personally bodyguard some of the guys that own these waves. So now that they own them, they don't have to ask anybody for permission. They own the wave. So they're still dorks, but they own some of the coolest waves on the planet.
And I'll just say this, the paid, the gated, I don't think there's any difference. Content's content. There's very little original thought in the world in 2025. What people will pay for is access. Yeah. And what's really interesting is you have access to Wing, you have access to Dave, you have access to all these people. That's where the value is, right? Yeah. So if you could be in the room, Tim was talking about that 90 seconds with Oprah. That's the value. But Oprah's content, paid versus free, we could access Oprah content for the rest of our lives for free on the internet, right? So that, but if you could get 90 seconds with her, that would be where the value is. Yeah. I got to turn it back over to Nick.
Yes.
Beautiful. Please, ladies and gentlemen, give a big round of applause for Sean Dill, Wing Lamb.